Hey everyone, Jim back here with a quick update that a lot of people have been calling on, emailing on, talking to our property counselors on, and it's the concern of hurricanes. And I get it. When I left California, 22 years ago to invest here in Florida instead, I had gotten used to earthquakes, but hurricanes seem like a new unknown and kind of scary. And so I can understand, especially with a lot of things that have happened this past year and some of the news, why you might be concerned. But I was asked to do another video just of the overview of what we've seen after Milton and Helene from this season for our overall portfolio, which is thousands of properties in about 12 different markets in Florida. First and foremost, we did really well. There is always some luck involved, but I will tell you there are ways, just like the insurance companies show, because insurance companies are all about risk, right? And so as they're analyzing their risk, they give different checks and pluses and stars for certain types of properties. And that's the type of properties that we try to build. First of all, because we know their risk analysis has some real credit to it and merit to it. So we want to lower our odds of damage. We also like our insurance premiums to be cheaper. And that's one of the reasons that Chris and I and Southern Impression Homes, we changed our real estate investing model 10 years ago because the older properties were more susceptible to damage in hurricane weather. And I'll tell you why. First and foremost is the most hurricanes cause damage by water on the ground, flooding. And houses back in the 50s and 60s in certain areas, they could be built at 2 feet above sea level, 3 feet. Today with our new construction model, anything built 2004 or newer, you got to be at 13, 14 feet above sea level. And that right there can make all the difference in whether you have water intrusion or not. We've seen it through the last few years with our storms where we were in very key areas in Southwest Florida, for example, Fort Myers, Punta Gorda, and on these last storms down there as well, that we didn't have any water intrusion in any of our properties where other properties in the nearby area did. And again, that is the difference between an older home built to different standards to today. And with the newer construction, you are required to use a stronger structural design, different fastenings, the product and the materials are of a different caliber, and it really has shown, no pun intended, to weather the storm better. So we're very excited about that. Again, we were getting tons of calls to see, how were our properties actually performing, and they did well. And another thing you have to remember, we are, in coastal communities for different properties. We're also inland, in the Citrus County and Ocala area. But remember, even though we're in coastal communities that are growing and we want to be in, we're not building right on the waterfront, right? First of all, the numbers wouldn't work there. And we want to, again, give a better safety score for you. So we're building a few miles inland, and it shows, again, by the risk analysis by the largest insurance companies, those houses a little further inland have a much lower risk. Now, I personally love waterfront property. I live 4 seconds off the ocean on a barrier island that's only 10 houses wide. But I take a risk living there. That's where I live. That's my lifestyle, and I stay well insured, and I know there is a risk there. We don't want to take that same risk with you and your personal investments, and the numbers wouldn't work anyway. The great thing about, waterfront, oceanfront property, some of the most beautiful, desirable, and valuable property in the world, but it has those risks. We don't want to take that risk with your portfolio. So again, that's why you're not going to see us, building there. There'd be no cash flow, too much risk. We want to go a little inland from these areas where there's a high desirability, lower risk, better cash flow. And again, with the new construction model, it's really showing that it has a lot of extra protection and merit. And we're super excited, to be able to make the calls the day after the hurricanes, the week after the hurricanes, to say, we're fine. There might be, some tree limbs down or a few shingles or something like that that can be repaired or may even be under warranty. But we're feeling really good about how we've performed through these. So again, nothing is foolproof. But what's great is we're getting even better premiums from the insurance company. We're getting even better attention and better mortgage rates from our lenders. Our lenders look at this too, and they love to see the way that we've performed. So again, I just wanted to send this out again because a lot of people are saying, really, how did you do? We're not in a position of any flooding, and we came out of it really well in all of our markets for, we're working with over 1,000 active investors right now, and that was really exciting because we know how important these portfolios are. So again, whether you're investing with us or not, just remember Newer construction is going to have different fundamentals and requirements that can give you a lot of protection. There are certain areas that are going to have the higher risk zones, right in the waterfront of whether it's oceanfront or canal front or such. So we try to avoid those areas, place you near them where you can get the best results. So hopefully this gives you some clarity. You always want to be concerned about hurricanes, but be well insured. Again, our best insurance agent who works with 90% of you has kept our people safe. And if something has happened, been there for them, but we're proud to know that we haven't had to use them very often. And we're hoping the same thing for the future. So again, hopefully this was helpful. Hurricanes, again, I know can be scary. Please stay in touch with us always. Our counselors, our portfolio managers will get you through. But again, congratulations to you all. We're really glad we came through another hurricane season well. And we'll look forward to next season. And we're going to keep running the same play, with the fundamentals and the types of houses that we build. So thanks for joining me again today, and we'll talk to you soon. Take care.